Hi guys, subscribers out there. It's Peter back for yet another video. Now today I've been requested to do by a YouTuber out there, Ace Productions. He asked me to do one of those wars where you put one album against another. So he asked me to do two albums from 1982 actually. Screaming for Vengeance, Judas Priest, and which I don't have a copy of, but I've heard many times on, online and so on, YouTube. Actually, I've never had a copy of that album, believe it or not, but I've heard it many times, and which I'm not proud of, but I should pick up a copy of it. But I'm very familiar with the album, and the other one I do have a copy of, which is Number of the Beast from 1982 by Maiden. So there you go. So both albums from 1982. The Maiden is their third studio album and Judas Priest their eighth. So I will talk about the Judas Priest album, Screaming for Vengeance. I'll go through the tracks. It's got The Hellion, Electric Eye, Riding on the Wind, Bloodstone, Take These Chains, Pain and Pleasure, Screaming for Vengeance. You got Another Thing Coming, Fever, and Devil's Child, the 10 tracks. And yeah, I'll just talk about that first. It starts off The Hellion. It's just a 40 seconds intro into Electric Eye, which is one of their greatest songs for me. It's a very catchy song, very sing-along type song. Really love it. So it starts nicely with that intro going into Electric Eye. So that's a good start to the album. Then we get Riding on the Wind. Now, I happen to love this song as well. It's quite a catchy song. Not my favorite on the album, but a real good song. I wouldn't say it's a weak song at all. It's a pretty good song. Then we got Bloodstone, which has got a fantastic riff in it. The guitar at the start of the song is really a knockout piece of guitar work. Fantastic riff, real recognizable. You can recognize it straight away. And I like songs like that. A big recognizable riff. And Bloodstone for me is one of the best on the album. It's catchy as well. And Rob Halford on this album is in great form. And this album's a bit of a more commercial feel. It started with British Steel, then they did Point of Entry, and then this album, a bit more commercial. It's just in parts, than the Stained Glass period and the Killing Machine, all that period. And but still great songs on this album. Then we go on to Take These Chains. This is very commercial sounding. I like it. Not as much as Bloodstone or Electric Eye, but it's a decent enough track. Pretty good song. And same for Pain and Pleasure. That's more on the commercial side as well, but decent enough, although not the greatest song on the album for me. Then Screaming for Vengeance. This is a great rocker. Goes back to the more raw Judas Priest back in the 70s, before these more commercial sounding albums. Nothing wrong with being commercial. They're great. If they're great songs, they're great songs. And Screaming Out, it rocks out. It's a great one. And then we got one of the signature songs. You got Another Thing Coming. I love this song. For me, this and Bloodstone will be probably my favorites off this album. And that's a real good one too. And Fever, it's not too bad. Don't mind it. Not one of my favorites, but not a real great song for me. But decent. And then Devil's Child, which is a real good one, finishes off with Devil's Child. So that's that album. All right, and Then we go on to Maiden. Now, the Maiden album is a classic. It's got 8 tracks. The original album had 8 tracks, but the CD they put in Total Eclipse, which I think for me is a bit of a throwaway song. I'm never was too much into Total Eclipse at all, to be honest with you. Invaders, not that great. It starts. I'll go for the tracks first. Invaders, Children of the Dam, The Prisoner, 22 Acacia Avenue, The Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, Gangland, Total Eclipse. If you don't want to include it or don't include it, doesn't really matter. And Hallowed Be Thy Name. Now, Invaders kicks off with Invaders. Not that great a song for me. They probably could have chosen another opener than Invaders. It's a bit of one of the weaker songs on the album for me. But then after that goes Children of the Dam, which starts off slow. And Bruce is particularly great on this song, a great vocal. And this song I love, Children of the Dam. It's a real good song. Then The Prisoner. This is a real catchy song. Really, they rip through this. It's great song, The Prisoner. I love that song. And then 22 Acacia Avenue is another great song. Fantastic song, that one. I love that one as well. And it's one of the best on the album, definitely, I have to say. 22 Acacia Avenue. The Number of the Beast is next. Well, it's a masterpiece of a song, although overplayed. It's been played to death. And also the following track, Run to the Hills, has been played to. But I love them. I love those songs, although don't play too much of them anymore, but they're great songs. Gangland, for me, is a bit of a weak one. Again, but yeah, a bit of it clocks in at 3 minutes 47 there. That's a bit of it's not a real strong track for me, but yeah, so that's that. Now, Total Eclipse, which is the bonus they put on this album, on the CD, wasn't on the original 8-track album. So, yeah, I'm not too big on that one either. And it ends fantastically, though, with Hallowed Be Thy Name, one of their greatest songs for me. It'd be right in my top 5, I think, Hallowed Be Thy Name. It's a fantastic closer. So you've got a great closer, and for me, Invaders a bit of a weak opener, but in between you got out of the original 8 songs, you've got probably 6 classic songs there. So a very strong album, apart from a couple of tracks, I think. That's how I always looked at The Number of the Beast as the back of the CD. So which one do I go for? Well, both albums have got a couple of songs that aren't up with the other songs on the album, you could say. And they've both got all their strong points. So it's a very tough decision, this one. I don't want to do any draws or ties if I can't make a decision. So I'll probably have to pick one album for you. But there's not much in it between these two albums. Very hard. I might go with Screaming for Vengeance. It might just be a touch better. It has got Bloodstone, and you got Anything Coming and Electric Eye. This is great songs as well, but for no other, no big reason. It's just it's nearly a tie, this one. But I just probably, if you put the question to me, I would probably just take Screaming for Vengeance as the winner from Judas Priest today. It could change, of course, but don't get me wrong, this is a great album. I love both albums, but I just have to go with Screaming for Vengeance. It might be just a little touch more consistent, maybe, and might be 1 or 2 more better songs, but it does have more tracks than here. But there you go. So the winner today is Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance. There you have it. and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you prefer. I'm sorry I didn't give a real good reason because it's so close I could hardly decide it. But if forced, I might just go with Screaming for Vengeance on this one. Judas Priest. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Bye for now. See you in the next video.